to include songs in your presentation. Hello, I'm Malcolm Cox, and thank you for joining me today on Tuesday Teaching Tips, episode 121. And today what I'd like to talk about is how we include songs in our talks, in our sermons, in our presentations. There's a good time to use them and a not so good time to use them. There's a good way to use them and a not so good way to use them. This is on my mind because two friends of mine included songs in two recent sermons I listened to, John Partington and Osagie. Both did this in the Watford Church of Christ on 2 consecutive Sundays, and they did it really well. And it made me think about the times I've seen it done well, like that, and the times I've not seen it done so well, including times that I myself have not done it well. So what are the key things with including songs in your presentation? Well, I would say, firstly, number one is make sure that the song is actually relevant. Here's the thing, you and I love certain songs. They mean a lot to you and me. There are some bits of classical music, there are some rock songs and pop songs that are very meaningful, and I love them, and I can kind of shoehorn them into presentations sometimes because they kind of have some connection, but for the average person listening to it fresh or new, they can't see a clear connection between my point and the song. And so it's important you don't just pick a song because you like it. It needs to add something to the presentation. There are times in the past where I've used songs I didn't actually like all that much, but they made the point. So it's not just about picking your favorite song and fitting it in. So number one, make sure it's not that. Number two, have the lyrics on screen. It's so important to have the lyrics on screen. Unless you're showing the video, if you're showing a video and people can see the mouth moving, that's going to help. But even there, I'd suggest you perhaps show a version, if it's a video, with subtitles underneath, because you'll have some people that can't see very well, you'll have some people that can't hear very well, and then the lyrics on screen will help. And you'll have some people who just find the visual not as communicative as the visual of the words more communicative rather than the auditory of the sound. And so therefore having the words on screen can make a big difference. Another reason is that sometimes some singers, their diction isn't particularly good, and it may be difficult to understand the words. And the other reason is that sometimes reading the words can help the words sink in more deeply into someone's heart. So definitely have the lyrics on screen, and even if you're showing a video of someone singing the song, I would suggest. The next thing to do is to make sure the song isn't too long. There's a thing about video and audio where if it goes too long, you begin to lose your audience, and so you don't want to do that. So I suggest, well, I don't think there's a perfect length, but somewhere between 3 and 4 minutes is probably about the longest. If you're going to 4.5, 5 minutes, you're in danger of losing the congregation, your audience, because especially there may be choruses which are being repeated, and they've heard it now 2 or 3 times, and it may not be much of an impact. So you can always shorten a song, perhaps cut out an introduction or a conclusion to a song. You could always cut out a verse. If you had the right software for that, perhaps you can find someone that could edit it for you. So I would suggest shorter clips are better than longer ones. So that's something else to consider. The other thing, of course, is to think through the words carefully. Even though you may love the song and there might be a verse or a chorus that makes your point, there might be other parts of the song which are a distraction, either because they are not particularly wholesome, because not all the songs we play in church may necessarily be Christian type songs and hymns, and that's okay. We can use secular lyrics, but we need to make sure they're not going to offend somebody. And also that they're not just distracting because they are, one verse is really the point, and then another verse has nothing to do with your point. Well, in that case, you might just want to show verse 1 or play verse 1 of the song. So those are some thoughts as to how to use songs effectively. They can be very powerful. Music is an amazing communicative media, so it's good to use it. And I suggest we do, but we just need to use it carefully. What are your thoughts on this? How do you include music, include songs in your presentations? In what ways have you seen it done badly, and in what ways have you seen it done well? I would like to know, because I'd like to improve how I use songs as well. Please leave a comment, leave it publicly where we can all see it so that we can all learn from one another, because we learn best when we learn in community, don't we? If you know someone who might benefit from this recording, do please pass it on to them. I'd appreciate that. Hit that like button, hit the subscribe button, and that would be wonderful. So thank you so much, and until the next time we see each other, I hope that you have a terrific Tuesday and a wonderful week. God bless.